The crash. In the vast, uncharted reaches of space, Captain Elara Voss piloted her small starship, the Aurora, through a patch of stars known for its beauty and peril. The shimmering constellations twinkled like diamonds against the endless black, and she felt a thrill rush through her as she navigated the ship. Elara was on a mission to gather samples from distant planets, a task that thrilled her adventurous spirit. But as she approached the atmosphere of a planet marked only as Xanthia on her outdated star charts, she felt a sense of foreboding. As the Aurora began to enter the atmosphere, turbulence rattled the ship. Suddenly, alarms blared within the cockpit, jolting her from her thoughts. The controls flickered and sparked, and Elara's heart raced as she fought to regain control. "Come on, Aurora, don't fail me now," she muttered, gripping the controls tightly. The ship shuddered violently, and she felt the gravitational pull of the planet dragging her down. "Not like this," she cried, desperately pulling back on the throttle. A warning light flashed red. One of the thrusters had failed. As the ship spiraled downward, she braced herself for impact. Flames erupted around her, and the world outside the viewport blurred into a swirl of colors. With a deafening crash, the Aurora smashed into the dense forest below, the impact knocking Elara unconscious. When she finally came to, she lay amidst the wreckage, her body aching and her head spinning. Groaning, she opened her eyes to a world that was both strange and beautiful. Sunlight filtered through towering trees with iridescent leaves that shimmered like jewels in the bright light. The air was rich with the scent of flowers and something sweet, invigorating her senses. As she pushed herself up on one elbow, the reality of her situation began to sink in. "I've crashed," she mumbled, trying to gather her thoughts. The wreckage of her ship surrounded her, smoke curling into the vibrant blue sky. Elara's heart raced as she surveyed her surroundings, wondering if she had survived the crash alone. Before she could fully grasp the situation, a figure approached her from the shadows of the trees. A woman emerged, her skin a rich shade of emerald, glistening under the sunlight. Her hair flowed like cascading waterfalls, shimmering with hues of blue and green that caught the light in mesmerizing patterns. Dressed in a gown made of delicate leaves and flowers, she radiated an aura of strength and grace. "Are you all right?" the woman asked, her voice melodic and soothing. Elara blinked in confusion, unsure if she was still dreaming or if this was real. Who are you?" she stammered, struggling to sit up fully. "I am Mary, a guardian of this land," the woman replied, extending a hand to help Elara to her feet. "You have fallen from the skies." Elara took Mary's hand, feeling warmth and a hint of strength in her touch. As she stood, the pain in her side flared, and she winced. "What planet is this?" she asked, looking around in awe. "You are on Xanthia, my home," Mary answered, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. "You are the first human I have ever met." Elara's mind raced. "Human? You know what I am?" she asked, bewildered. "I have heard tales of your kind, stories passed down among my people," Mary explained, her gaze sweeping over the wreckage. "But I never thought I would see one in person. You must be in pain. Come, let me help you." Though unsure of what lay ahead, Elara felt a strange pull toward this alien woman. "All right," she agreed, limping slightly as Mary guided her away from the crash site. As they walked through the lush forest, Elara marveled at the beauty of Xanthia. The air was thick with the sounds of nature, chirping birds, buzzing insects, and the soft rustle of leaves. Everywhere she looked, there were flowers unlike anything she had ever seen, their colors vibrant and alive. Mary led her deeper into the woods, where the trees grew taller, their trunks wide and ancient. "Your ship, it will take time to recover it," Mary said, glancing back at Elara. "But you are safe here. My people will help you." Elara was taken aback. "You have people?" she asked, intrigued by the idea. "What are they like?" "They are a peaceful race, in tune with nature," Mary replied. "We have little contact with outsiders. Most travelers do not come to Xanthia, as it is isolated from the main routes of trade, but we welcome those who seek knowledge. Knowledge? What do you mean? Ilara questioned, her curiosity piqued. Mary smiled, her eyes gleaming with excitement. We have much to learn about the stars and the beings who inhabit them. I have always dreamed of understanding the lives of others, especially humans. You are a mystery to us. Ilara's heart raced at the thought. She had never considered that her arrival on this distant planet would be so significant to its inhabitants. What do you want to learn? She asked cautiously. Everything, Mary said, her expression earnest. How you live, how you love, and… She hesitated for a moment, her gaze growing intense. How your kind reproduces. Ilara blinked, taken aback by the directness of the question. You want to know about human reproduction? She echoed, unsure how to respond. Mary nodded, her expression serious. It is a mystery we do not understand. Our ways are different, and I have always been curious about the connections between beings. Ilara felt a mix of surprise and disbelief. You're asking me to teach you about something so personal. I propose a union, Mary said suddenly, her voice steady. A bond between us so that I may learn firsthand. Union? You mean marriage? Ilara stammered, her mind racing. They had just met, and the idea of marriage with an alien was absurd. Yet, there was a spark of curiosity igniting within her, a part of her that found the concept intriguing. Yes, Mary replied, her tone calm. In Xanthia, it is common for two beings to enter into a union for mutual benefit, to share lives and learn from each other. I believe this is the best way for both of us to achieve our goals. Ilara's heart pounded in her chest. I need to think about this, she said, unsure of how to process what had just been proposed. This was an opportunity unlike anything she had ever imagined, but it also came with risks. Of course, Mary said, her expression understanding. Take all the time you need. You are welcome here, Captain Ilara Voss. As they continued through the vibrant landscape of Xanthia, Ilara couldn't help but feel a sense of adventure rising within her. This planet, with its mysteries and its beautiful inhabitants, had the potential to change everything. But could she truly embrace the unknown and forge a bond that transcended their worlds? As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the forest, Ilara knew one thing for certain: her journey on Xanthia was just beginning, and the choices she made here would echo through the stars. The proposal. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, Ilara Voss took in the alien landscape around her. Xanthia was unlike anything she had ever seen. Its vibrant flora, the sweet scent of blooming flowers, and the gentle hum of creatures hidden within the underbrush created a symphony of life. Mary, the emerald-skinned guardian, walked beside her, a calm presence amid the whirlwind of thoughts swirling in Ilara's mind. They approached a clearing where the trees parted to reveal a small village nestled among the roots of colossal trees. The buildings, woven from living vines and adorned with flowers, seemed to blend seamlessly with the environment. Ilara felt a sense of warmth and tranquility wash over her, a stark contrast to the chaos of her crash. Welcome to my home, Mary said, gesturing with open arms. This is where my people live. We call it Valora. Ilara stepped into the village, her eyes wide with wonder. The inhabitants, with skin tones ranging from shades of green to deep blues, moved gracefully, their laughter mingling with the soft rustling of leaves. Children played in the open spaces, their joyous shouts filling the air. For a moment, Ilara felt a pang of longing for her own home, a place she hadn't seen in months. Mary, your people are beautiful, she said, her voice filled with awe. They seem so at peace with their surroundings. They are, Mary replied, her eyes shining with pride. We live in harmony with nature, taking only what we need and giving back to the land. It is our way. As they walked through Valora, Mary introduced Ilara to her friends and family. They greeted her with curiosity, their eyes sparkling with fascination at the sight of a human among them. Ilara felt a sense of belonging that she hadn't expected, But as the day waned and the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, her thoughts turned back to Mary's unexpected proposal. That evening, Mary invited Elara to her home, a majestic tree with a trunk wide enough to house a small building. Inside, the walls glowed softly with bioluminescent crystals, illuminating the space with a warm, inviting light. Thick moss covered the floor, creating a comfortable and serene atmosphere. As they settled down, Mary brought forth a tray of food that looked both strange and enticing. The dishes were vibrant, filled with fruits that glowed faintly and foods Elara had never seen. "You must try this," Mary urged, presenting a dish that looked like a mixture of fruit and a soft, fluffy bread. Elara took a cautious bite, and the flavor exploded in her mouth, sweet, tangy, and utterly delicious. "This is amazing," she exclaimed, her eyes widening in surprise. "What is it?" "It is called zoltha," Mary replied with a smile, her joy evident as Elara savored the dish. "A staple in our diet, rich in nutrients and flavor." As they ate, the conversation turned to their lives. Elara shared stories of her adventures across the galaxy, the challenges she faced as a starship pilot, and the thrill of exploring uncharted worlds. Mary listened intently, her eyes reflecting a deep curiosity. "I want to understand your life more," Mary said, her voice serious. "I want to know not just about your travels, but also about the bonds you form, the love you share, and how your people reproduce." Elara hesitated, her heart pounding. "Mary, it's not a simple topic. It's deeply personal, tied to emotions and relationships. It's not something I can just explain." "I understand," Mary replied, her expression unwavering. "But that is why I propose a union. By becoming partners, we can explore these aspects together. It is a mutual agreement, an opportunity to learn and grow." Elara felt a knot tightening in her stomach. But marriage is a significant commitment. It involves trust, connection, and feelings that might take time to develop, she said, struggling to find the right words. "It's not something to be taken lightly." Mary nodded, her gaze steady. "I know this is sudden, but my desire to understand your world is sincere. I have thought about this for a long time. A union would allow us to explore the depths of our experiences together." Elara took a deep breath, the weight of Mary's proposal pressing heavily on her. She had never considered marriage, especially not with an alien, but the idea of forming a bond that could allow them to share knowledge and experiences was tantalizing. The very thought ignited a spark of curiosity within her. "What would this union entail?" Elara asked, her tone softening as she considered the possibilities. Mary leaned forward, her excitement palpable. "In Xanthia, a union is a sacred bond between two beings. It involves a commitment to support each other, to share knowledge and life experiences. We would learn from one another, and in doing so, create a bridge between our worlds." "Is it a physical bond as well?" Elara inquired, her cheeks flushing slightly at the thought. Mary nodded. "Yes, it encompasses both mind and body. It allows for a deeper understanding and connection, but it is built on mutual respect and consent." Elara felt her heart race. The concept was both thrilling and daunting. She had never considered entering into such a deep relationship so quickly, yet the opportunity to explore not just her own existence, but to help someone else understand humanity was profoundly appealing. "What if things don't go as planned?" Elara asked, her voice tinged with uncertainty. "What if we find we are not suited for this union after all?" Mary's expression softened. "That is a possibility, but it is also a part of exploration. We will take it one step at a time. If at any moment you feel uncomfortable, we can discuss it openly. It is important to me that we both feel at ease." Elara considered Mary's words, realizing that this could be a chance for something extraordinary. She had always been drawn to the unknown, to adventures that pushed her beyond her limits. And now she was being offered an opportunity to not only explore a new world, but to potentially forge a profound connection with someone who genuinely wanted to learn about her life. Okay, Ilara said, her voice steadying. I will consider your proposal seriously, but I need time to process this. Take all the time you need, Ilara, Mary said, a smile breaking across her face, illuminating her features. I will be here whenever you are ready. As they finished their meal, Ilara's thoughts swirled with possibilities. A union with Mary could change the course of her life, opening doors to experiences she had never dreamed of. The idea of teaching Mary about humanity, sharing her life and love, felt like a journey worth embarking on. That night, as Ilara lay in the soft bed of moss and leaves that Mary had prepared for her, she couldn't help but gaze up at the bioluminescent crystals that twinkled like stars overhead. This planet, with its alien beauty and the captivating woman who had entered her life, had ignited a flame of curiosity and wonder within her. Little did she know that this was just the beginning of a journey that would challenge her understanding of love, trust, and the very essence of what it meant to be human. In the depths of the night, as the winds whispered secrets through the leaves, Ilara fell into a dream filled with possibilities, both thrilling and terrifying. She knew that whatever awaited her in the days to come would test her resolve and shape her destiny in ways she could never have imagined. Learning the ways, the sun rose over Xanthia, casting a golden light through the iridescent leaves that formed a canopy above Ilara's head. She awoke to the gentle sounds of the forest, birds chirping, the soft rustle of leaves, and the distant hum of insects. Stretching, she felt the comfort of the mossy bed beneath her, and for a moment, the reality of her situation felt like a beautiful dream. Mary had given her a safe haven, a place to recover from her crash, and the promise of adventure stirred within her. But the weight of Mary's proposal loomed large in her mind. Ilara had never considered a union with anyone, let alone with an alien, yet the opportunity to share knowledge and experience a bond unlike any she had ever known was intoxicating. After a quick breakfast of zolfa and strange but delicious fruits, Ilara decided to take a walk through Velora. She needed to clear her mind and gather her thoughts about Mary's proposal. As she stepped outside, she was greeted by the sight of the village coming to life. Families gathered in clusters, sharing laughter and stories, while children chased each other with unrestrained joy. "Good morning, Ilara," a voice called out. It was one of Mary's friends, a tall figure with skin the color of deep ocean waves. "How did you sleep?" "Very well, thank you," Ilara replied, her heart warming at the kindness of the Xanthians. "Come, join us," the friend urged, gesturing toward a group gathered around a large, flowering tree. Curious, Ilara followed, intrigued by the sight of colorful fruits hanging from its branches. The Xanthians were engaged in a communal activity, carefully picking fruits and placing them into woven baskets. Ilara stepped closer, feeling an inviting sense of community envelop her. "What are you doing?" she asked. "We are harvesting the Laura fruits," one of the villagers explained, his eyes bright with enthusiasm. "They are used in many of our dishes and are especially delicious when made into jams." Ilara smiled, joining the villagers in their task. As they picked the vibrant fruits, laughter and conversation flowed freely, and she felt her initial apprehension melt away. These people, despite being so different from her, shared a warmth and joy that resonated with her. After some time, Mary appeared, her radiant smile illuminating her face as she approached. "I see you are already making friends," she said, her voice melodic. "They're wonderful," Ilara replied, her spirit lifting. "It's amazing to be part of something so lively and communal." Mary nodded, a glint of pride in her eyes. "We value connection and sharing our lives with one another. It is the essence of our culture." As the harvesting came to a close, the villagers invited Ilara to join them for a communal meal. They set up a long table beneath the great Laura tree, adorned with colorful fruits and dishes prepared from the harvest. The atmosphere was filled with laughter and the clinking of dishes as they all gathered to eat. Ilara sat among them, savoring the flavors of the dishes, each one more delicious than the last. They shared stories, and she found herself opening up about her life as a pilot and explorer, about the vastness of space and the different worlds she had seen. The Xanthians listened intently, their eyes wide with wonder. "What is it like to travel among the stars?" a young Xanthian girl asked, her voice filled with awe. "It's exhilarating," Elara replied, her heart racing at the memories. "There's a sense of freedom that comes with exploring the unknown, but it can also be lonely. I've seen incredible sights, but I often long for companionship." Mary's gaze lingered on Elara, a thoughtful expression crossing her face. "And that is what we hope to understand. The bonds you form, the connections that transcend distance and time. It is something we yearn to learn about." After the meal, Mary invited Elara to join her for a walk in the forest. As they strolled along a winding path, the beauty of Xanthia enveloped them. The sunlight filtered through the leaves, creating patterns of light and shadow on the ground. "There is so much I want to share with you," Mary said, her voice filled with excitement. "But I want to hear more about your customs and how you connect with others." Elara nodded, appreciating Mary's genuine curiosity. "In my culture, relationships are built on trust, respect, and mutual understanding. They take time to develop," she explained. "Love is often a gradual process, one that deepens as you get to know someone." Mary listened intently, absorbing every word. "And how do humans express love?" she asked, her eyes sparkling with interest. Elara paused, considering the question. "There are many ways. We express love through our actions, words, and gestures. A simple touch, a shared laugh, or a moment of vulnerability can strengthen a bond. But it is also about understanding and accepting each other's flaws." Mary nodded thoughtfully. "In Xanthia, we express our feelings through our connection to nature and to each other. Touch is sacred, and we often use it to share energy and emotions. It's a way to deepen our understanding of one another." The conversation flowed naturally, and Elara found herself drawn to Mary's perspective on connection. The more they talked, the more she felt a bridge forming between their worlds, a pathway that could lead to mutual understanding. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in fiery shades of red and gold, Mary paused beside a small, clear pond. "This is a sacred place for my people," she said, her voice softening. "It is said that the waters reflect the true nature of one's heart." Elara gazed into the pond, the surface shimmering like glass. "What do you see?" she asked, curiosity piqued. Mary knelt beside the water, her reflection mingling with the colors of the setting sun. "I see the potential for connection, for learning and for love," she replied, her gaze steady. "But I also see the fear of the unknown." Elara felt a knot tighten in her stomach. "Fear can be powerful," she admitted. "It can hold us back from experiencing new things, from forming connections." "Yes," Mary said, her voice resolute, "but it can also drive us to explore and understand. You came to Xanthia seeking knowledge, did you not? Just as I seek to learn about you." Elara smiled, appreciating Mary's insight. "Yes, I did, and I think part of me is ready to embrace this journey with you." Mary's eyes sparkled with joy. "Then let us continue to learn from one another. Let us explore what it means to be connected, not just as individuals, but as beings from different worlds." With that, they continued their walk, sharing stories and laughter as they delved deeper into each other's lives. Elara felt a growing sense of acceptance, a blossoming connection with Mary that transcended their differences. The forest around them felt alive, echoing their shared curiosity and desire for understanding. As night fell, the stars emerged, twinkling above like distant beacons. Elara lay on the soft grass, gazing up at the sky, her heart swelling with wonder. Xanthia was not just a place of refuge, it was a world filled with possibilities, a canvas on which she could paint new experiences and forge bonds that defied the limits of space. The thought of Mary's proposal lingered in her mind. A union could be the key to unlocking deeper understanding, to bridging the gap between their worlds. As she lay there, the cool breeze rustling the leaves above, Elara felt a sense of peace settle within her. Perhaps this journey was meant to be, a path toward a connection that could change both their lives forever. And as the stars twinkled brightly overhead, Ilara made a silent promise to herself. She would embrace this adventure, allowing her heart to explore the depths of love, trust, and understanding that awaited her in this alien world. The union. The next day dawned bright and clear on Xanthia, the vibrant colors of the landscape more vivid than ever as the sun rose over the horizon. Ilara woke to the sounds of the forest, feeling a sense of renewed purpose. She had spent the previous evening contemplating Mary's proposal and the bond they could forge together. Today, she decided, would be the day she explored the depths of that possibility. After a quick breakfast with Mary, the two set out for a secluded glade known for its beauty and tranquility. Mary led the way, her graceful movements drawing Ilara's attention as they traversed through lush underbrush, past vibrant flowers, and around ancient trees that towered like giants. As they walked, Ilara felt her heart race with anticipation. The prospect of forming a union with Mary was thrilling yet daunting. The weight of such a commitment lingered heavily on her mind. When they arrived at the glade, Ilara was struck by its serene beauty. Sunlight filtered through the branches, casting dappled shadows on the ground, while the air was thick with the fragrance of blooming flowers. A small stream bubbled nearby, its clear water reflecting the azure sky. This was a place of peace, a perfect setting for their important conversation. "Mary," Ilara began, her voice steady but soft. "I've thought a lot about your proposal. It's a big step for me, and I want to be sure I understand what this union means to both of us." Mary smiled, her emerald eyes sparkling with warmth. "I understand, Ilara. This is a significant decision, and I want you to feel completely at ease. Let us discuss it openly." They sat down on a soft patch of grass beside the stream, the gentle sound of water flowing creating a soothing backdrop. Ilara took a deep breath, gathering her thoughts. "I know that in Xanthia, a union represents a deep bond between two beings, but what does it mean in terms of our daily lives? How would we navigate our relationship?" Mary leaned in, her expression earnest. "In our culture, a union is more than just a commitment. It is a partnership built on trust and mutual respect. We share knowledge, experiences, and responsibilities. It is common for couples to live together, supporting one another in their pursuits." Ilara nodded, considering the implications. "And what about physical intimacy? I mean, is it expected that we would, share that kind of connection?" Mary's cheeks flushed a delicate shade of green, a sight that made Ilara smile. "Yes, intimacy is an important aspect of a union. It strengthens the bond between partners and allows for deeper understanding. However, it is always a mutual choice, and it is essential that we communicate openly about our feelings and boundaries." Ilara felt her heart race at the thought of such a connection with Mary. The idea of sharing not just her body, but also her heart and soul with someone from another world was both exhilarating and terrifying. "I've never entered into a relationship like this before," she admitted. "I've always focused on my work as a pilot and explorer. This feels like stepping into the unknown." "That is precisely why I want us to embark on this journey together," Mary replied, her voice gentle yet firm. "We will learn from one another, and through our experiences we can grow and discover what it means to be connected. It is an adventure unlike any other." As the weight of Mary's words sank in, Ilara felt a spark of excitement igniting within her. The prospect of a union opened doors to countless experiences, each filled with potential for growth and understanding. "What if I said yes?" she asked, a tentative smile playing on her lips. "What would our next steps be?" Mary's face lit up with joy. "If you agree, we would begin the ceremonial process of binding our lives. It involves several rituals that symbolize our commitment to one another and the merging of our worlds." "Rituals?" Ilara echoed, intrigued. "What kind of rituals?" Mary explained that the union ceremony was an integral part of Xanthian culture. "We gather the community to witness and support our commitment. There are 3 primary rituals: the sharing of knowledge, the dance of connection, and the binding of hearts. Ilara's curiosity deepened. What happens in each of these rituals? The sharing of knowledge involves us exchanging personal stories, insights about our cultures, and hopes for the future. It is a way to open our hearts to each other and to our community, Mary explained. The dance of connection is a celebration, a physical expression of our bond where we move together in harmony. Finally, the binding of hearts is a symbolic act where we create a shared emblem that represents our union. Ilara felt her heart race with anticipation. That sounds beautiful. I would love to share my stories and experiences with your people. Then we can begin preparations, Mary said, her excitement evident. But remember, Ilara, this journey is about exploration and connection. It is essential that you feel comfortable with each step we take. I appreciate that, Ilara replied, her resolve strengthening. I want to embrace this opportunity fully, to learn and grow alongside you. With their decision made, Mary and Ilara spent the rest of the day preparing for the union ceremony. They gathered materials from the forest to create the emblem that would symbolize their bond, a combination of elements from both of their worlds. Ilara collected vibrant flowers and shimmering stones, while Mary contributed leaves and delicate vines, each piece representing a part of their identities. As they worked side by side, laughter and shared stories filled the air. Ilara found herself enchanted by Mary's passion for her culture and the depth of her understanding. They painted vivid images of their lives, finding parallels in their experiences and differences that sparked intrigue and curiosity. Later that evening, the villagers gathered in the glade to celebrate Ilara and Mary's union. A vibrant tapestry of life surrounded them, with Xanthians coming together to support their commitment. Ilara felt a sense of belonging wash over her as she stood among these incredible beings, her heart swelling with emotion. The ceremony began with a sharing of knowledge. One by one, Mary and Ilara shared stories from their lives, the struggles and triumphs, the moments of joy and heartache. Ilara spoke of her adventures in space, the thrill of discovery, and the loneliness that sometimes accompanied it. Mary shared tales of growing up in Xanthia, the deep connection she felt to her people and the land, and her dreams of exploring beyond her home. As they spoke, the villagers listened intently, their expressions reflecting awe and empathy. Ilara felt the distance between their worlds beginning to shrink, replaced by a growing sense of connection and understanding. With each story, she felt herself opening up, revealing parts of her soul she had kept hidden for too long. Following the stories, the villagers began the dance of connection. Ilara watched as Mary moved gracefully among her people, inviting Ilara to join in. The music resonated through the air, a beautiful melody that intertwined with the sounds of the forest. As the villagers danced, Ilara felt an electric energy fill the space. She stepped forward, allowing herself to be swept up in the moment, moving in rhythm with Mary and the Xanthians. Laughter and joy erupted around them as they danced, weaving in and out of one another, celebrating the bond being formed. Ilara felt a rush of exhilaration, the unity of their movements igniting a deep sense of belonging. Finally, it was time for the binding of hearts. Ilara and Mary stood before the gathered villagers, each holding the emblem they had created together. It was a beautiful piece, a blend of colors and materials that represented their unique worlds coming together. Mary spoke, her voice strong and clear. We stand here today, ready to bind our hearts in a union that transcends our differences and embraces our shared desires for understanding and connection. This emblem symbolizes our commitment to one another and the journey we are embarking on together. Ilara took a deep breath, her heart swelling with emotion as she added her voice. I stand before you, ready to embrace this union. I wish to learn and grow, to share my life with Mary, and to deepen our understanding of one another. This is not just a bond, it is an adventure. With those words, they intertwined their emblems, binding them together as a symbol of their commitment. The villagers erupted in cheers, celebrating the union that had taken place. As the night sky filled with stars, Ilara felt a profound sense of peace settle within her. She had taken a leap into the unknown, and it had led her to a place of connection, love, and discovery. With Mary by her side, she was ready to embrace the challenges and adventures that lay ahead, knowing that together they would forge a path that united their worlds and expanded their horizons. Under the shimmering stars of Xanthia, Elara knew that this was just the beginning of their incredible journey, a journey that would intertwine their lives in ways she could never have imagined, allowing them both to learn, grow, and ultimately find what it meant to truly be connected. The union, the dawn of a new day, bathed Xanthia in soft hues of gold and violet as the sun peeked over the horizon. Elara Voss awoke in Mary's tree home, a gentle sense of excitement fluttering in her chest. Today was the day she had chosen to fully embrace Mary's proposal for a union, a commitment that would intertwine their lives and cultures. Elara felt a blend of anticipation and nervousness. This was a step into the unknown, a leap that could change the course of her life forever. After a simple breakfast of Laura fruits and sweet bread, Elara and Mary set out toward a sacred glade known for its beauty and tranquility. This would be the site of their union ceremony, a place where the forest met the sky and the vibrant life of Xanthia thrived in harmony. As they walked hand in hand, Elara marveled at the beauty surrounding her, the towering trees, their leaves shimmering in shades of emerald and gold, and the fragrant flowers that bloomed in a riot of colors. Each step felt significant, a part of the journey that was unfolding before them. Upon arriving at the glade, Elara was captivated by the serene atmosphere. The air was filled with the sound of birds singing, and a small stream gurgled nearby, its waters sparkling in the sunlight. Mary gestured for Elara to sit beneath a grand tree, its roots sprawling like welcoming arms. "This is a sacred place," Mary said, her voice soft yet filled with reverence. "It is said that the energy here enhances the bond between two beings." Elara settled onto the soft moss, her heart racing with a mixture of joy and trepidation. "What will happen during the ceremony?" she asked, eager to understand what lay ahead. Mary smiled, her eyes reflecting the sunlight. "There are 3 key rituals that will guide us through this union: the sharing of knowledge, the dance of connection, and the binding of hearts. Each ritual symbolizes a different aspect of our commitment." Elara felt a thrill run through her. "I'm ready to learn about them. Let's begin." The sharing of knowledge. Mary took a deep breath, her expression serious yet warm. The first ritual, the sharing of knowledge, is about opening our hearts and minds to one another. We will exchange stories, experiences, and insights from our lives. This will help us understand each other's cultures and perspectives. Elara nodded, feeling the weight of the moment. "I've traveled to many worlds, and each one has shaped me in different ways. But sharing those stories with you feels more intimate than I've experienced before." "Exactly," Mary said, her smile encouraging. "We will connect through our narratives, creating a foundation for our bond." As they began, Mary shared her childhood stories of growing up in Xanthia, her eyes sparkling as she described the lush forests and the communal spirit of her people. "We learn from nature and from each other," she explained. "Every day is an opportunity to connect with the world around us and to celebrate our shared existence." Elara felt her heart swell as she listened. "I've often felt isolated in my travels," she admitted, her voice growing soft. "Being a pilot meant I was often alone among the stars, seeking knowledge but yearning for connection. Hearing about your life makes me realize how different our experiences have been." Mary reached for Elara's hand, her touch warm and reassuring. "You are not alone anymore. Together, we can create new experiences and forge a bond that transcends our backgrounds." With that encouragement, Elara began to share her own stories, her adventures as a pilot, the breathtaking sights she had seen, and the moments of danger she had faced in the vastness of space. She spoke of the thrill of exploration, but also the loneliness that sometimes accompanied it. The villagers who had gathered to witness the ceremony listened intently, their faces reflecting empathy and curiosity. With each story exchanged, Elara felt the distance between their worlds begin to close. She realized that, despite their differences, the desire for connection and understanding was universal. The dance of connection. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, the first ritual came to a close, and Mary led Elara to a larger clearing within the glade, where the second ritual would take place, the dance of connection. The Xanthians had prepared an array of colorful fabrics, each woven with intricate patterns that told stories of their people. They spread these fabrics on the ground, creating a vibrant tapestry that represented the unity of their cultures. Dancing is a way for us to express our emotions and our connection to one another, Mary explained, her eyes sparkling with excitement. Through movement, we can share our joy and our commitment. Elara felt her pulse quicken as the villagers began to drum, the rhythmic beats reverberating through the ground and into her very being. The energy of the moment filled the air, and she could sense the anticipation of the crowd as they began to move in unison. "Join me," Mary said, extending her hand. Elara took it, and together they stepped onto the tapestry, feeling the warmth of the fabric beneath their feet. As the music swelled, they began to dance, their movements guided by the rhythm of the drums and the energy of their shared commitment. The dance was exhilarating, a celebration of their union that transcended language. Elara moved with Mary, feeling the connection deepening between them as they twirled and swayed to the music. The villagers joined in, their laughter and joy creating a vibrant atmosphere that echoed through the glade. As they danced, Elara found herself lost in the moment, her heart swelling with emotion. She had never felt so alive, so connected to another being. It was as if the very essence of Xanthia was flowing through her, intertwining her spirit with that of Mary and her people. After what felt like both an eternity and a fleeting moment, the dance came to a close, the last beats of the drums fading into the gentle rustle of the leaves. Breathless and exhilarated, Elara and Mary stood together, their hands still intertwined. The energy of the dance lingered in the air, a testament to the bond they were forging. The binding of hearts. With the sun beginning to dip toward the horizon, casting a warm glow over the glade, it was time for the final ritual, the binding of hearts. This ritual symbolized the commitment they were making to one another, a promise to support, understand, and grow together. Mary retrieved the emblem they had created, a beautiful piece woven from the materials they had gathered, each element representing their unique cultures. The emblem was a blend of flowers and leaves, vibrant and alive, infused with the energy of their shared stories and experiences. "We will bind our hearts together with this emblem," Mary said, her voice steady and filled with emotion. "It will serve as a reminder of our commitment to one another and the journey we are embarking on." Elara nodded, her heart swelling with anticipation. "I'm ready." As they stood before the gathered villagers, Mary took a moment to reflect. This emblem represents the union of our lives, our knowledge, and our cultures. It is a symbol of our promise to nurture this bond and explore the depths of our connection. With careful hands, Mary intertwined their emblem, binding the elements together with a delicate ribbon made from the vines of Xanthia. As she tied the knot, Elara felt a surge of warmth spread through her, a connection that resonated deep within her heart. "May this emblem always remind us of our commitment to each other," Mary declared, her voice strong. "Let it guide us as we learn and grow together." With the binding complete, the villagers erupted into cheers, celebrating the union that had taken place. Elara felt tears of joy prick at her eyes as she looked at Mary, their bond solidified in that moment. The warmth of the community enveloped them, and Elara knew she had made the right choice. As the stars began to twinkle above, illuminating the glade with a soft glow, Elara felt an overwhelming sense of peace. She was no longer alone. She'd have forged a bond with Mary, and through their union, they would explore the beauty of their worlds together. In the days and weeks that followed, Elara and Mary embarked on a journey filled with discovery. They delved into each other's cultures, exploring the intricacies of their lives and the rich traditions that defined them. Together, they faced challenges and celebrated triumphs, their bond growing deeper with each passing day. Elara found herself falling in love with Mary, not just for her beauty and grace, but for her spirit and the depth of her understanding. And in turn, Mary embraced the human experience, fascinated by Ilara's stories of the stars and the complexities of life beyond Xanthia. As they navigated their shared path, they discovered that love was not just a destination but a journey, one that required trust, communication, and a willingness to embrace the unknown. Through their union, Ilara and Mary found a profound connection that transcended the boundaries of their worlds, intertwining their lives in a tapestry woven with love, understanding, and endless possibilities. Together, they were embarking on an adventure that would shape the future of both their cultures, proving that love knows no boundaries and that the most beautiful journeys are often the ones taken together. The challenges of Unity Days turned into weeks, and the initial thrill of Ilara's union with Mary began to settle into the rhythm of daily life on Xanthia. The lush beauty of the alien world became a backdrop to their growing bond as they explored each other's cultures and shared their experiences. The villagers of the Laura embraced Ilara as one of their own, welcoming her into their communal activities and traditions. Settling into a new life, Ilara found herself participating in daily rituals that celebrated the interconnectedness of Xanthian life. Each morning, she would join Mary in gathering fresh fruits and herbs from the forest, learning the names and uses of the various plants. Xanthian cuisine was vibrant and diverse, often centered around seasonal ingredients that were gathered from their surroundings. Ilara marveled at how they utilized every part of the plant, minimizing waste and respecting the earth. "Here, we honor the life we take," Mary explained as they prepared a meal of roasted velora and sauté greens. "Each bite is a gift from the earth, and we must show our gratitude." Ilara nodded, absorbing Mary's perspective on sustainability. The more she learned about Xanthian culture, the more she began to appreciate the depth of their connection to nature. She shared stories of Earth's culinary traditions in return, teaching Mary about the diversity of flavors and how different cultures celebrated their harvests. In the evenings, they would gather with the villagers around a fire, where they shared stories, laughter, and music. Ilara felt the weight of her past as a solitary traveler began to lift, replaced by the warmth of community and companionship. Yet, beneath this surface of happiness, a shadow lurked, a lingering tension regarding the complexities of their union. The weight of expectations. As time went on, Ilara became increasingly aware of the expectations that accompanied her union with Mary. The villagers revered their customs and traditions, and with that came a pressure to conform to a way of life that was unfamiliar to her. Though they had welcomed her with open arms, she could feel the scrutiny of the community watching her every move, as if they were assessing her worthiness to be Mary's partner. One evening, after a particularly festive gathering where Ilara had shared tales of Earth, she sat beside Mary, watching the stars twinkle overhead. The joy of the celebration still lingered, but a knot of anxiety twisted in Ilara's stomach. "Mary, do you think they truly accept me?" "Sometimes I feel like I'm under a microscope," she confessed, her voice laced with uncertainty. Mary turned to her, concern etched across her features. "I understand how you feel. Our customs are deeply rooted in tradition, and it can be difficult for outsiders to fully integrate. But you must remember, Ilara, that acceptance takes time." Ilara sighed, frustration bubbling beneath the surface. "I just want to prove that I'm worthy of being your partner. I want them to see that I'm committed to this union." "You are committed," Mary reassured her, placing a comforting hand on Ilara's knee. "But this journey is not just about proving yourself to them. It's also about discovering who you are in this new life. We must be patient and allow our bond to grow naturally." Though Mary's words offered comfort, the weight of expectation continued to press on Ilara's shoulders. She felt the pressure to adapt, to fit into a role that was not inherently hers. As a pilot, she had always thrived in the unknown, but navigating the intricacies of an alien culture proved to be a different challenge altogether. Cultural misunderstandings. As the weeks progressed, Ilara encountered moments that tested her resolve. One afternoon, While participating in a communal task of crafting woven baskets, she overheard a group of villagers whispering about her. They were discussing her human ways, questioning whether she could truly grasp the essence of Xanthian life. The words stung, and Ilara's heart sank. She had made every effort to engage with their customs, but it seemed that her attempts were falling short in the eyes of some. Feeling overwhelmed, she excused herself from the group and wandered into the depths of the forest to clear her head. The vibrant greens and golden sunlight provided a temporary solace, but as she walked, she couldn't shake the feeling of inadequacy. Ilara had always prided herself on her adaptability and resilience, yet here she felt vulnerable and exposed. Mary found her sitting by a stream, her expression pensive. "You've been distant lately," she observed, taking a seat beside Ilara. "What troubles you?" Ilara hesitated, the emotions swirling within her threatening to spill over. "I overheard them talking today," she admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. "They're questioning whether I can truly belong here. It feels like no matter how hard I try, I'll always be seen as an outsider." Mary's brow furrowed with concern. "Ilara, their words may be harsh, but they do not define your worth. You are learning and growing, and that is what matters. You are not expected to become someone you're not." "But I want to embrace this life, to be a part of your world," Ilara said, frustration bubbling over. "It's just hard. I feel like I'm failing." Mary took a deep breath, contemplating her response. "Perhaps it's time to show them the strengths you bring from your own culture. Your unique perspective can enrich our community." Ilara looked at Mary, her heart swelling with gratitude. "You truly believe that?" "Of course," Mary replied, her confidence unwavering. "Let's organize a gathering where you can share your Earth customs. Show them what it means to be human, the beauty of your world. It may help bridge the gap between us." Inspired by Mary's words, Ilara spent the next few days preparing for the gathering. She gathered items from her own experiences, bringing pieces of her world into Xanthia. She crafted a presentation that included stories, artifacts, and even a few recipes that highlighted the diversity of Earth's cultures. A celebration of differences. The day of the gathering arrived, and the glade was transformed into a vibrant space filled with laughter and excitement. Villagers of all ages gathered, their faces alight with curiosity. Ilara stood at the front, her heart racing with anticipation. As she began to speak, she felt a surge of confidence. She shared tales of her adventures, the beauty of Earth's landscapes, and the intricacies of human relationships. She described the culinary traditions of her planet, inviting the villagers to sample the food she had prepared. With each story and taste, Ilara noticed a shift in the crowd. The whispers that had once felt like judgment transformed into intrigue and admiration. Villagers engaged with her, asking questions and sharing their own stories in return. Ilara felt a sense of connection blossoming, a bridge being built between her world and theirs. As the evening wore on, the villagers joined in a dance, mimicking the movements Ilara had demonstrated earlier. Laughter filled the air, and Ilara felt her heart swell with joy. The barriers that had once seemed insurmountable began to fade, replaced by a sense of unity and shared experience. As the night drew to a close, Mary stood beside Ilara, her eyes shining with pride. "You did it," she said, her voice filled with warmth. "You showed them the beauty of your culture and the strength of your spirit." Ilara beamed, a sense of fulfillment washing over her. "I feel like I finally belong, like I'm not just an outsider anymore." Mary nodded, her expression serious. "You are a part of us now. Our union is not just a bond between you and me, it extends to our community. Together, we can create a future that honors both our cultures, facing new challenges together." Yet, even as the celebration brought a renewed sense of belonging, Ilara knew that challenges lay ahead. The complexities of navigating life in a new culture were far from over. There would be moments of misunderstanding and adjustment, but now she felt more equipped to face them, buoyed by the support of Mary and their growing community. In the days that followed, Elara continued to integrate into Xanthian life, sharing more of her world while embracing the beauty of Mary's culture. The bond between them deepened as they navigated their new lives together, facing the challenges that came with their union. But with each challenge, Elara and Mary grew stronger, discovering the power of collaboration and communication. They learned to approach difficulties with empathy and understanding, recognizing that the journey they were on was not just about individual growth, but also about building a life together, one that honored both of their identities. As they faced the world hand in hand, Elara realized that their union was not merely a merging of two lives, but a celebration of diversity. Together, they were embarking on a journey that transcended the boundaries of their worlds, proving that love, understanding, and connection could conquer all. Through their shared experiences, they would continue to discover the depths of their bond, and Elara felt a renewed sense of purpose as they stepped into the future together, ready to embrace whatever adventures awaited them.